Hey there, Gregan here, coming at you with a coaching video to give you advice on how to warm up in Rocket League. I've created a training pack for you guys that will give you all the shots that are applicable in a high-ranked lobby. This will help you get those shots out the way before you go into a ranked match, so it's not the first time you're hitting that top corner shot when you go into ranked. So before we get into this training pack, you're going to want to go into free play and just hit a ball around. Every single time you get into Rocket League, you just want to go around, bang the ball about, send it up onto the side, do whatever you can, and so on. By the way, I got the new Queso skin. How good is this skin after the big win? Very nice from them. But once you've done that for about 5-10 minutes, got used to your car control, got used to the physics of the game, we're going to go into the Gregan Ultimate GC Warm-Up Training Pack. The code is going to be on the screen now for you, and I'm going to be going into it right now. So it's this one here, Gregan's GC Warm-Up Pack. It's got every shot you could possibly think of that applies in-game. And we'll go through each shot by shot, to make sure that you get the best practice, best warm-up possible. Just before we get into it, I know a lot of you use BakkesMod, so I'm going to show you some of the things that I do to help with BakkesMod. So low variance is the first thing I always do for most training packs. It adds a little bit of variety, but not too much that it makes it confusing. And then when I go into custom training here, I like to enable automatic mirroring. It allows for more variance, but you do have to think about top left and top right, them being mirrored. So sometimes you might want to think about it as far corner or near corner. And then I like to keep training packs in the order so I don't shuffle the playlist, because a lot of training packs have a nice steady build up of difficulty, so it can be quite good. And especially this training pack, it's in the order for a reason. And then the last thing I like to add is limited boost. So you can see here, if you slide this, it should be at -1, which is infinite. And then I put it up to 100. If you don't know what BakkesMod is, you might be on a PC or console that can't use it. But if you're on PC, look into BakkesMod. It allows you to have more training methods. It's a great little mod, link in the description below. Anyway, let's get into the training pack now. So if you see from here, far left corner, far right corner, you want to be aiming for those. And then after you've done that a few times, aim down the middle for the backboard. So the first two shots are really simple. The whole idea of them is hit the ball on the half volley to replicate a clear in game. And what you're going to aim to do is try and hit it into the corners. So you want to try and get it into that corner, follow it up, and then take the shot. But just a few things to note on these shots is when you're just warming up, you're trying to get your timing of the half volley down. And then the follow-up shot is just to try and get you used to reading the corners. If you start to feel like this isn't challenging you enough, you can start doing things like dodging forward and then having to realign yourself behind the ball to get loads of power on it. Or you can start trying to meet it on the volley in the air and get the same amount of power. All of these things are personal preference, and the whole idea of this one is just to warm up a few clear shots. Once you've done 3 or 4 successful corner bounces, then you can focus on moving on to the next shot. Okay, so this next shot here is really about getting you turning on the spot and gaining a lot of power. So getting power from a static position. So what you're really aiming to do is turn on the spot using your power slide and then get a good timed dodge on that ball. Just a bit like that. Now what this does is it warms up your power slide mechanics, it will warm up your dodging from a low speed mechanics, and also your read of the ball at a low aerial height. This can often be very useful in game to intercept the ball or turn and take a quick shot when rotating out. To make it more challenging, really try and aim for just below the crossbar, maybe aim for a top left or a top right. And then the other thing you can do to make it more challenging is try and meet it as soon as possible. So really turn and jump early, but you want to be making sure you're doing a single jump into a dodge. And if you want to make it a little bit easier, you can just wait a little bit later and maybe meet it on the half volley. If you maybe want to make it easier, you can drive a little bit further away and come forward onto it. Try and still hit it on the volley, but if you're really struggling, you can go back to hitting it on the half volley. Okay, for shot 4 and 5, what you're going to aim to do is hit top left, top right, bottom left, and bottom right. Remember, if it's mirrored, that will be near side, far side. But what you're trying to do is really consciously aim for a part of the net. So I'm aiming for top right, as you can see. So top left. And until you hit all 3, so there we go, that's 1. Until you hit all 4 of the targets, you can't move on to the next shot. So you can see I'm aiming for the bottom corner, and then we'll go for the near side corner. Yeah, that'll do for the near side top corner, and then near side bottom corner. Try and keep it nice and grounded. Slot it in. Perfect. There we go. Now, if you're struggling with some of these shots, maybe it's a good time for you to go away and do shooting training. I'll be releasing a video not too distant future, which will go over shooting practice and the little tricks that you can have in these kind of shot situations to improve your accuracy and power. But for now, just focus on aiming for those corners and move on to the next shots. Shot 6 and 7, very similar to the previous shot. It's just the ball is now bobbling a bit more. So you might be able to hit it on the volley, or you might, depending on the variance, you might hit it on the half volley. But you're trying to do the same thing. It's just now you've got a little bit more power and bounce behind you. Top corner. Yeah, that'll do. And then the far bottom corner. And just like that, I've hit all 4 corners. You know, depending on your own skill level, you can be more or less lenient on your corner aiming. And at the end of the day, this is to warm you up to try and make sure that that first shot you take in game isn't the first shot you've taken that day. So 4, 5, 6, and 7 down. That's all focused on shooting. Shooting a very important mechanic in Rocket League. But the next 2 shots are about reading the wall bounce. So something a bit like that one there. Really trying to get around that ball and send it towards the net powerfully. This is actually one that I was inspired by Fairy Peak to do, because he used to do this in free play himself. He would just drive around, send the ball into the wall, and try and read it and send it towards the net as powerfully as possible. So if he can do it, you can do it too. So this next one's really about your quick up aerial technique. What you're aiming to do is be as efficient as possible, flying straight up to this ball. And then if you can, try and follow up with a double touch. What you'll find with this aerial here is it will put you in a really nice position for a double tap. And especially if you're using limited boost with BakkesMod, it tests your efficiency and makes sure that you're sending the ball at a point which you can follow up easily. Now, shot 11 is one for the dribblers out there. You're going to drive back, catch that ball, and then you're going to try and focus on aiming for a part of the net with your dribble play. Now, this one is definitely better to warm up in 1v1 because you'll have a person to play against. But the main thing you got to focus on is having a conscious aim while you're dribbling the ball. So there I was trying to flick it top corner. What you might think is, I'm going to try and musty flick this one. So you'll drive it up and then, you know, I'm trying to practice specific dribble mechanics. Maybe you'll go up and you'll be like, right, I'm going to try and do a flick to the left. Didn't quite work out. But you want to be conscious of whatever you're trying to do. You don't want to make it up on the spot. You want to be in control the whole way. I'm going to try and pop and air dribble this the whole way into the net. Wasn't great, but, you know, at least it was what I was trying to do. For a lot of you, just catching the ball and carrying it on top of your car towards the net will be a good warm-up for you anyway. So get back as efficiently as possible, turn on the spot, 180 chip that ball up, and then focus on doing something spicy that could lead to a goal. Just like that. So this next one is to practice your half flip mechanics into power slide / booming control. There's a lot of little fine mechanics here that are useful for you. If you can do a half flip, try and half flip back, turn and meet it on the half volley and send it towards the net, trying to get it just in below the crossbar. Now, if you're not too familiar with the half flip, you can just power slide and drive back around and try and use maybe different mechanical ways to do it. But the quickest way to get behind this ball is half flip into it and bang that ball forward. You might even want to drive back around it and practice all different ways to get behind this ball. But you are trying to get behind the ball as efficiently as possible to send it forward. Not bad. So these next 2 shots are a little bit more fun. You're going to be going off the wall and you're going to be trying different things that could work in a game situation. Now, it can be very easy right here to focus on scoring. Now, that's important, but you don't want to just focus on shooting the ball towards the net or going for a double tap. Maybe think of a few ways you might pass in game. As long as you think of doing it before you go for it, it will be useful in a game. So maybe you'll drive up the wall and think, I'm going to try and pass this one middle. And that would work in a game. So you're just trying to create different situations. Maybe I would go, right, I'm going to try and send this into my own, my teammate who's nearby. Or I'll go, I'm going to put this into the corner where it will center awkwardly. Or maybe you are just going to focus on shooting the ball at the goal. I'm actually quite good at Rocket League, you know. For the higher level players, maybe try going for stuff like double tap. The ball pops out in the right way. Maybe you can try something a little bit more saucy. Sometimes if you're a high level player, you might try and go for something a little bit more challenging. Then the last 2 shots is really a chance for you to have a bit of fun.
Have fun.
So this replicates the kickoff where you lose the ball to the back corner and you grab the boost, and then it's a chance for you to chip the ball up and try something. So you only have 100 boost. So you've really got to be conservative with your boost and be as efficient and fast as possible. Now this is a chance for you to go for air dribbles, you know, test out the defense. Maybe you even just want to chip it and just go for a double tap. Man's popping off in custom training and that in it. So you finish the training pack. What next? Well, just go back into free play or try a different training pack that's more specific to what you're working on and queue for a game. See how you feel after doing this training pack. Let me know how you feel in the comments below after doing Gregan's GC warm-up pack, and if you start getting any winning streaks off the back of it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.